This is a show with no particular niche, baby. It's always about hanging out. Maybe we'll laugh at some stuff, maybe we'll learn something new, but it's always about hanging out, me and you. Hi, hello, and welcome to That Thing with James. I'm your host, James. Hi, how you doing? What's that? Huh? I can't hear you. Why? Because this is a pre-recorded video. This isn't live. I don't have a chat feed. This isn't the Twitch. Had I more time and resources, which is a bit redundant because time itself is a resource. So let's just say, had I more resources, I would like to stream on Twitch. To get to interact with people and play video games and giggle and laugh together. But in lieu of that, I still do this thing, this podcast. If you're new, hi, what's up? As I mentioned in the intro song, this is a show about nothing in particular. There's no particular niche. So I just talk about whatever catches my interest right before I record, or just talk right off the dome. And today is going to be a little bit of both. Actually, today is going to be a lot of dome talk and a lot of exploring Reddit. I think I'm going to look at Today I Fucked Up, because I don't really have a topic that I want to talk about here. In the previous episode, I think it was, previous free episode, I went on a rant and rave about Snap, and well-deserved. I've got my SNAP benefits now. I do think the Dems caving was not the greatest move, but at least we got something out of it. Let's see those files. Let's see those files. Let's see the photos. Let's see the videos. Let's hear the audios. I'm sure it's more than just PDFs. I'm sure it's more than just PDFs full of PDF files, as they say on the tic-tac-toe. Do you remember when, was it Nancy Pelosi said, TikTok, no thank you? And that shit was the funniest thing since Pokemon Go to the polls. That was when Congress was yet again talking about banning TikTok because it was a quote-unquote threat to national security. You know, whatever. I don't feel like getting into politics today. I want to laugh. If you're not new to this show, if you follow every week, you may have noticed I didn't put out a new episode last week. I didn't even put out an announcement that I wasn't going to put out a new episode last week because I was inundated with stuff, particularly taking care of a pup with a testy tummy all by myself. Yeah. It's been very, very busy. And something exciting happened just 2 or 3 days ago. So I'm recording this on Sunday, November 23rd. When this episode comes out, I intend to get it out on the Friday after Thanksgiving. So I guess that would be Black Friday. Thanksgiving's going to happen. I'm going to go see family and eat some good food. And then I've got to work the very next day. I don't get Friday off, folks. So, from my day job. So, I'm going to have to do that. And then I got to get my car checked out. Nothing's broken. It's just, oil change and mileage. I'm at a certain mileage where they want to do a certain inspection. And I say, yeah, why the hell not? Why the hell not? Because there's a non-zero percentage chance, or just percent chance, that I may need to go on a 9-hour one-way, 9-hour drive soon. It's not for sure, but it's a non-zero chance, and I'm not going to talk about it here. I'll talk about it in the bonus episode, which, if you didn't know, I've got over 120. I think, am I at 130 or going into the 130s? I have a significant amount, technically, I think the technical word is a fuck ton of bonus episodes that you can access by supporting the show at patreon.com/ThatThingWithJames. Once again, that is patreon.com/ThatThingWithJames. The URL is written in the episode description along with my socials, show email, and show subreddit. But yeah, I don't have sponsors on this show. This is a wholly independent endeavor. That's the word I'm looking for. This is a wholly independent endeavor. And when I say wholly, I mean wholly both ways. Well, maybe not in the way that there are, holes in me, but whole as in WH and holy as in saintly. This is a wholly independent endeavor, and your support is greatly appreciated. And to those of you who are already patrons, thank you so much. You rock. It's $5 is the bare minimum you can get in, and you get 30 days of access to that aforementioned technical word fuck ton of bonus episodes. So join up. Support an independent creator, an artiste, an independent artiste with a lot of fucking, I got gumption, I've got character, I can't think of the word, whatever. Help support the show. Help, show your appreciation for, if not just the amount of work I put into this, but for the sheer determination that I'm still doing this show, such that I've got like over 100 and let's see here, 130. Yeah, I've got over 130 bonus episodes. Once again, that's patreon.com/ThatThingWithJames. Yeah. It's getting colder. Thanksgiving's coming up. I don't have to cook anything. I'm looking forward to seeing family, and I've got some stuff loaded up. Man, I'm the older I get, the wiser I become, and also just the better I get at handling myself, my mind, my body, my spirit, and the way it interacts with the world and with events over which I have no control. I'm finding more peace every day, and that's a great thing. I don't mind aging because I am, in terms of having peace of mind, maturing, leveling up. Like Goku. Yeah. Like the Goku of wisdom and strength and Super Saiyanism. Anyway, yeah. I don't have anything else to say except for the little fun potential news that I'm going to share in the bonus episode. So anyway, I've got some Reddit stuff pulled up because I want to laugh. Or just have a lighthearted time, and hopefully you do too. So give me just a second to sip some water, and we will get to it. I'll be right back. And we're back. I have pulled up the subreddit r/TIFU, which stands for, it's an initialism. Unless you say T-food, then it would be an acronym. It's short for Today I Fucked Up. And this title really caught my eye. Also, that it was at the very top of the hot sorting. Posted 6 hours ago from now by, by Keith Mack. I'm not sure how to pronounce that name. Title: Today I fucked up by inviting Nazis to my gay wedding. What? What? How do you invite Nazis to a gay wedding? Well, let's read. Here we go. So this is kind of a double. Oh, by the way, I haven't read any of this stuff yet. We're going really off the dome. I'm exploring this all for the first time now. FYI. Let's read. So this is kind of a double Today I Fucked Up that's been in the making for 6 years, but only came to a head the past couple months. So I, male, 30, am getting married to my beautiful, amazing fiancé, male, 29, in about 8 months. We have been together we have been together for 7 years, engaged for 4, and are finally going to be getting married. Personally, I'm not huge into parties, so I'm mostly just looking forward to being married. But my fiancé is especially looking forward to the day itself, so we're going all out to make it exactly what they are imagining. As part of this, they wanted a big wedding. So we're having lots of extended family in from abroad, and we've invited pretty much all of our friends and acquaintances. This includes the members of my board game club that I've been a part of for 6 years. Okay. I play with these people at least 3 times a week every week. We never really talked about much other than the game, and sometimes minor annoyances from that day, but not much beyond that. Example, not a lot of personal talk. But I still considered these people to be my friends, so of course they got an invitation. They were all thrilled for the invite, and our board game talks mostly shifted to the wedding and how the planning for that is going. Honestly, the vibes were great, and I was loving the time we spent together even more. Then one day I got a surprising question. Quote, "Has your wife picked her dress yet?" Unquote. This was especially surprising because they've met my fiancé a number of times, and I introduced them as my partner, because that's what we call each other. Apparently, they thought they were just my co-op game partner and not my life partner, though. The mood immediately shifted. None of them really said anything else the rest of the evening. They just looked at each other. Okay, so this is an in-person. This whole time I've been wondering, is this like an online board game thing? But okay, this is in person. Okay. So they've met the fiancé, the partner, in person. All right, let's keep reading. I got a text the next morning from the guy who hosts the club mentioning that the club was canceled for the next week because of a family emergency. I thought it was weird. It wasn't in the group chat, but whatever it happens, fair enough. Complete silence for 2 weeks. I send a text just checking up on him and get no response. I reach out to the other members and get the same reaction. Then, for some reason, I decided to check their Facebook. And I have never done it before since I don't use Facebook, but something in me just said to look. And it was like looking at Musk/Trump fan pages. Every post he shared was, oh God, white supremacy, anti-LGBT, misogyny, etc. Literally, the night after I reminded them I was marrying a man, the host shared a post about all gay men are pedophiles targeting children. I dig deeper, look at his photos. He has literally attended Nazi rallies since I've known him, and the others aren't better, each of them sharing the same vile hatred almost daily. So now I'm confused and honestly concerned. All of these people have RSVP'd, yes, to the wedding, but obviously now I don't want them to go, and I assume they won't show up. But what if they do? I mean, they're literal Nazis. What if they want to cause a scene? They have the wedding address, time, all relevant details to get a crowd of Nazis and burn us out or something. The fact they've ghosted me, I think, is a good sign. They won't show up, but honestly, I'm still scared. Also, I have to deal with the fact that my comfort place for the past 6 years has been a Nazi board game club, and I'm working on finding a new one with some more vetting. TLDR. I've been an unknowing member of a Nazi board game club for 6 years and invited the members to my gay wedding. 6 years. And nothing ever really struck you as off? You never really caught the vibe? Are you on the spectrum, or are you putting on blinders? Because the thing with Nazis often is, especially after 6 years, you can kind of sniff them out. They're actually pretty easy to spot a lot of the time. So how the hell did you go 6 years without realizing they were Nazis? What gives? How the fuck did you manage to miss that one? Let's keep reading. Edit with clarity updates. This is a throwaway account since my main has my actual name, and I'm not sure who of the wedding guests may see it and recognize it if I posted it there. I don't want to cause a panic to my many gay, non-white, Jewish, etc. friends by saying there will be Nazis at my wedding. I should also clarify that when I say I played with them 3 times a week, that was mostly on a tabletop simulator. We met once a week for 2 hours in person, and the rest was just here and there online when people had the time. The host and some others played nearly daily, but I didn't. Also, minor thing. My partner uses he, they pronouns. That's why I'm referring to them as them, but he is also fine. I'm not marrying into a polycule. Okay, well, let's read some comments. Top comment. I guess that might explain why they were so enthusiastic about playing Secret Hitler. Next comment. Maybe the real secret Hitler was the accidental fascist friends we made along the way. What is Secret Hitler? I'm going to look this up. I think I've heard of this before. Give me just a second. Okay, here we go. Started in 2016. Okay, I got you. Came published in 2016. I got you. Secret Hitler is the name of this game. Is a hidden identity social deduction party game developed by Goat, Wolf, and Cabbage LLC, manufactured by Breaking Games and distributed by Black Box. The board game was designed by Max, yada yada yada. In Secret Hitler, players assume the roles of liberals and fascists in the Reichstag of the Weimar Republic, with one player becoming Hitler. To win the game, both parties are set to competitively enact liberal and fascist policies, respectively, or complete a secondary objective directly tied to the Hitler role. Hey, that actually sounds fun. I want to play that. Playing time 30 to 60 minutes. Okay, that actually sounds amazing. I want to keep reading. Maybe you know about this. Maybe this is whatever. If you haven't heard of this, Here, let's keep reading. Secret Hitler sees players divided into two teams, the liberals and the fascists, the latter also including the Hitler role. There are always more liberals than there are fascists in each game, but the fascists have the advantage of knowing the identities of each other. The liberals, with only the information in their personal affiliation, must therefore deduce. See, I love this kind of shit. Deduction, mystery, investigation, detective work. I love that shit. I want to play this game. Must therefore deduce using social and mechanical means for themselves which players to trust. When playing with 5 or 6 players, there are only 2 fascists, one of whom is Hitler, and there are only 2 fascists. As there are only 2 fascists, Hitler knows who the other fascist is, and vice versa. But games of 7 or more players, the identity of Hitler is known to all other fascists, but the identities of the other fascists are unknown to Hitler. At the start of each round, the player to the left of the previous president becomes the new president, or the first president is chosen randomly. The president nominates another player to the chancellorship, and every player, including the proposed government, either votes ja or nein. Okay, that's enough. I want to play this. That sounds like right up my alley. Okay, that sounds pretty fun. And that's funny that they were probably playing Secret Hitler. And the game came out 9 years ago. OP's been playing for 6 years. Oh, it's definitely Secret Hitler. Let's read another comment here. It's gonna suck, but uninvite them and make it very clear they're not welcome. You don't need dickheads like that in your life. I can guarantee there are better board game groups out there. Someone replies to that, uninvite them clearly and directly. A simple message is enough. Quote, due to recent information, the invitation is withdrawn. Please do not attend, unquote. No explanations, no debate. Then alert your venue and wedding party that certain people are not allowed on the property. You don't need people like that in your life, and you'll find a better, safer board game group elsewhere. Okay, let's read another comment here. Message them, yada, yada. Yeah, okay, here's what I'm looking for. Here's a comment. You met a bunch of Nazis nearly 1,000 times, and they never mentioned their views, and they love playing board games? Come on. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Come on. How the fuck do you not pick that up? Even if you don't talk about your personal life or anything, they can't help it. You know, it's like, it's like some vegans. Like they let you know. They let you know. Someone replies to that comment saying, well, to be fair, they didn't figure out he was gay, so they were all a bit in the dark on different things. Yeah, I think everyone was deliberately putting on blinders. I think OP suspected this and chose to say, I'm just making things up. And I'm sure the Nazis, figured out their board game member was gay or just queer, and also maybe chose to put on blinders because they enjoyed playing the game together. Someone replies here, I just don't understand how they heard quote unquote partner in reference to the other man that lives there and assumed board game playing partner, despite the fact that said partner never joined in any of the 3 weekly board game meetups they had every week for 3 years. That is a whole level of commitment to obliviousness. Okay, someone else says, Nazis can be autistic too. Let's see here. OP tosses in their 2 cents here saying, we basically only ever talked about the games, really. The most the most other than that would be someone saying God work was awful, and not in the context of God work was awful, my boss is gay. I assumed they were just weird like me and hated when people wasted time during their turns by doing small talk and wanted to play the games, which could still be true on top of the Nazi stuff. Okay. Someone replies to that saying, hold up. You're trying to tell me that a group of racist, misogynistic straight dudes never once made a sexist remark whatsoever? Yeah. There's something. Someone comments, board game clubs, shaking hands emoji, socially awkward people with fringe political beliefs. Someone else replies, I also think this is bullshit. Actual Nazi rallies are incredibly rare and poorly attended. Most neo-Nazis have good enough sense to not go. Those who do go are the most knuckle-dragging, virulent Nazis of the bunch. There's no way someone could be friends with them for years, regularly playing and talking games, playing games and talking, and have no clue, especially since this Nazi friend very proudly posts about it on social media. It beggars belief. Yeah, interesting. All right, that's it for that one. I'm going to pull up another. I'll be right back. Just a second. Okay, here we go. Here's another one. Today I fucked up by mocking my neighbor's parrot for the last couple of weeks. Here we go. So, I live in an apartment where the walls are thin enough that I can hear my neighbor's TV, phone calls, and unfortunately, their parrot. This parrot, very beautiful animal, but makes me want to rip my hair out and do things I am not proud to admit. Let's just say he has become my morning alarm for the past few months. About 2 weeks ago, I started mocking his sounds back. He'd squawk, I'd squawk. He'd whistle, I'd whistle. We built up a little routine, kind of like the distant, angry roommates communicating through bird calls. Sometimes I would even initiate it, like when I was cooking, I would randomly have a Tourette-like outburst and start squawking loudly. I know this is strange. LOL. Yesterday, my neighbor knocked on my door and had a really odd look on her face. Apparently, ever since I started doing my bird banter, her parrot has become obsessed with me. I guess I just wasn't in the mood for bird talk the last couple days and went silent. She said he paces and screeches when I stop responding. She even showed me a video. It was such an awkward experience. She said he used to have a parrot friend that died years ago, and she thinks it wants some sort of bird companion. Oh, I'm gonna cry. Anyway, she asked me to make a couple bird sounds as she was putting a treat in its cage to see if it would eat. I reluctantly agreed and felt humiliated, of course, but I went through with it, and sure enough, the little fucker started eating and playing. Long story short, I became the object of a parrot's affection, and my neighbor asked if I could talk to him for a few minutes a day. Even gave preferred times if I'm home. I've unintentionally entered a long-distance relationship with a bird. Oh, that is so sweet. Oh, the poor... And don't they live quite a while, parrots? Top comment. Bruh, this is like a buddy movie where you're forced to be your enemy's best friend. I feel sorry for you, but also good for you. Kinda sucks when you want to be a dick, but make friends instead. Someone replies, OP is just mad because it's not fun knowing that the bird loved the mocking, and now the thing that annoyed him that he enjoyed responding to is now a requirement. It's like being told to clean your room as a kid when you were either doing that already or about to get started. It's kind of annoying in its own way. Okay. Someone else says, this is one of the weirdest wholesome stories I've ever read. Someone else says, congrats on your new BBFF, best bird friend forever. Oh, someone says to that, we had an African gray, or have an African gray who is 32 years old. He has a full vocabulary and has cogent conversations. That being said, he picks who he talks to and with what words, phrases, and sounds he learns. OP, you have been chosen and now have a friend forever. It's true. Birds, maybe not grackles. Ugh, grackles are ugly, dumb little bastards. But some birds are extremely intelligent and they're great friends. I think birds are cool. Trains are cool, man. Be right back. I'm going to find another one. Just a second. Okay, we've got the final two for this episode, and then I'm going to need to eat something because I'm pretty hungry. I didn't have breakfast yet, and it's about brunch time. Last two for this episode. Posted 8 days ago. Today, Chinese femboy or female? Probably female. Today, I fucked up. I, Chinese femme, ordered my guy friend, quote, Asian candy, unquote, or offered my friend Asian candy while I was lying down in front of him. I was in a meeting where they had lychee jellies, Asian supermarket candy aisle staple. I love them, and my friend group currently isn't very Asian. So when I was told I could pocket some extras, I was pretty excited to be able to share a bit of my childhood with all my friends after the meeting. I had to run to rejoin them where they were hanging out, and all the seats are taken, so I ended up lying down on the floor and taking off my jacket with the jellies in them to catch my breath. As soon as I vaguely recover myself, one of my friends walks in and joins us. All he sees is that when I notice him, I immediately roll over and prop myself up with one elbow, and in that pose on the floor, slightly out of breath and still flushed, raised my eyebrows in excitement and said, "Hey, do you want some Asian candy?" And then continued to grin excitedly without producing any sort of actual candy. There was a complete pause for a moment, and then a lot of laughter at my expense once they realized I wasn't propositioning him in front of everyone. He did not, in fact, want my Asian candy. I think maybe you just gave this guy a raging boner without realizing it. Or was this your true intent? Let's jump into the comments and see if OP answers. Top comment. His Reddit post 5 years later. Was my friend coming on to me? Yeah. OP replies to that saying, I've actually been coming on to him for like 2 weeks. That was the one time it was accidental. And honestly, I think the only time it actually registered to him. Okay. So here's the thing, especially with younger women. They want to drop subtle hints. It's fear of rejection, is how I view it, at least. Especially younger women will be confused why men or young men don't pick up on the hints that the young women drop. And I'd say I would venture to guess, like my first thought is, why the subtle hints? Is it because you want to give yourself some sort of, an out? Because you don't want to get rejected. You don't want to deal with that. It's understandable. And guys don't want to mistakenly assume something is a come on, because that can get very uncomfortable in many different ways. So it's completely understandable, and it's best, and hopefully as you age, you learn to just be direct, just be tactful and direct. That's all you got to do is just be upfront. That's it. So OP has been coming on to him for 2 weeks, but that's the first time it registered to him. I'm sure it's registered to him before, and he thought, no way. No, too good to be true, no way, or I don't want to make a mistake and make this very uncomfortable. And her doing that, I'm not so sure. I think that might have been like a Freudian slip type thing. I'm sure some part of her did intend that to be a bit of a come on. Yet again, giving yourself a little out, saying, oh no, I'm talking about actual candies. I'm sure, maybe unconsciously she knew what she was doing. But someone replies to her saying, so I'm hearing that when you're alone, this will be an incredibly effective pickup line now. Let's see. Any more comments here? Let's see here. Now that is funny. Poor guy had no way to respond to that. OP replies, yeah, laugh cry emoji. He just kind of did a little, okay. Yeah, this is hilarious. Honestly, you just accidentally flirted in the most unhinged way possible, lying on the floor, breathless, offering Asian candy with no candy in sight. I'd have cried laughing too. Okay, that's that. Let's go on to the last post here. Posted 6 days ago. Today I fucked up when I was 11 by accidentally carpet bombing my neighbor's backyard party with dog shit. My grandfather loved his 3 big Labradors. I think he loved them more than his family. But the old guy fed them the cheapest garbage dog food on earth, the kind that made their turds turn white when they dried. The result of this food was nuclear-level dog farts and turds the size of small loaves of bread. When I was 11, he made it my chore to clean up the poop and mow the lawn. Been there. I figured I could save time by just mowing over the piles of shit. Turns out, when you mow over big, fresh dog turds, they turn into a they turn into a moist brown mist. The first time they saw me do this, my grandparents put a stop to it. So I invented a solution, the doo-doo catapult, which was literally my grandmother's spatula from her kitchen drawer. Oh my God, and she's cooking with that? On chore day, I'd wait for my grandparents to leave the house, then I'd get to work. I'd go outside, fling the dog's giant turds over the fence and onto the neighbor's roof. Perfect aim. Pure roof every time. They were jerks anyway, so I didn't feel bad. One day, after I'd skipped my chores for several weeks, my grandfather got mad and made me get to work. There was several weeks of poop from 3 big dogs. It was gross. I was in a huge hurry. My grandparents had left, and my friends were waiting out on the street for me. I didn't check if the neighbors were home, nor did I check my aim. I just started rapid-fire launching turds over the fence. After a bunch of launches, I froze. People were yelling, screaming, and cursing. Our neighbors were outside having a backyard party. A whole bunch of people were barbecuing. I had just carpet bombed the entire thing with dog shit. When my grandparents got home, the neighbors marched straight over looking for blood. They were livid. My grandfather spoke with them for a long time, me standing behind him. After he calmed down a bit by agreeing that he'd ground me for the rest of my life, the old man glanced at me, gave the tiniest smile, and winked. Okay, so they were dickheads. Grandpa didn't like them either. I didn't get in much trouble. Mostly just a stern talking to from my grandmother. She said because it wasn't about pelting the asshole neighbors with dog shit. It was for using the fucking spatula she's been unwittingly using for months, years possibly? She said to never, ever use her spatula again for doo-doo duty. Even my grandmother couldn't hold back laughing. Each time she said poop during her stern talk with me, they were the greatest grandparents in the world. TLDR, I used my grandma's spatula to catapult poop over the fence, didn't realize the neighbors were having a big party. I bombed the entire gathering with big Labrador turds. Top comment. Scatapult. Boom. Boom. Next comment. Trebuchet. Bada boom. Bada bing. Next comment. That one took me out so hard, I scared my cat laughing. Okay. Someone else says, way to be a party pooper. Oh. Yes, that's a good one. Someone else says, I love how this took more a good deal more effort than putting it into a bin or a bag. I mean, honestly, I'm reading that. I read that story and I was thinking that is absolutely something I would have done. That is totally something 11-year-old James and younger would have done to take care of the shit. Yeah, I'd grab a fucking spatula and toss that shit away. Hell yeah. It was probably stinky, but also a little bit fun. How well did OP clean the spatula once it is over, if at all? Let's see. Someone else says, did people used to wonder why your grandma's cooking tasted like shit? Okay, and here's something. So OP mentioned the turds turning white, and I learned about this years ago, and this commenter addresses this phenomenon. Phenomenon. White dog turds. Dog poop used to turn white from the bone meal in it. Dogs couldn't take up all the calcium, so they pooped it out. When the poop dried out and aged a little, you'd see the calcium in it. Yeah, there used to be bone meal in dog food. As a matter of fact, there's still bone meal in dog food because someone around in my neighborhood has a dog whose poop dries up white. And I know this because, at least 75% of the dog guardians in my neighborhood don't pick up after their goddamn dogs. Another comment here. OMG, I started cackling over doo-doo catapult and continued to laugh all the way through the rest of it. Thank you for the hilarious read, although I couldn't help but cringe in horror at the fact that you used your grandmother's spatula. I'd never be able to use it again, no matter how many times it was washed and sterilized. Not much turns my stomach. In fact, I can watch autopsy shows and pimple-popping videos while eating, but dog poop is one of the few things that will have me dry heaving. Yeah. Speaking of food, I'm hungry. I'm done with this episode. Stick around, become a patron, patreon.com/ThatThingWithJames, because I've got a whole other episode I'm recording once I get some food in me. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope to catch you next time. And I hope you had a decent family gathering, if at all. Bye.